Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. It's a real pleasure to present NexaVM to you. Here's how about webinar today will go. So we'll start with a short company presentation to give you a clear idea of who we are and what we do. After that, we'll move onto a live demo of our solution, and at the end, we will have some time for questions. The chat is open, so if you have any question during the presentation, feel free to write them here, and we'll go through all of them at the end. If you would like to discuss something in more detail later, you can email me directly, and we will be happy to arrange a one-to-one meeting. Now, I show you the presentation. Okay. And so here we are. NexaVM. NexaVM is a European technology company focused on bringing the next generation of enterprise virtualization to partners and service providers. Our goal is to redefine the virtualization market in Europe and worldwide by offering an open-minded, transparent, and high-performance alternative to legacy solutions. We believe that innovation should always go hand in hand with trust, openness, and simplicity. Our platform is designed to help our partners deliver modern, efficient, and profitability infrastructure without unnecessary complexity or costs. Our vision is simple: to bring the next generation of European virtualization technologies open and built for the future. Our mission is to empower service providers, resellers, and enterprises with the tools to build modern, scalable, and profitable infrastructure. Here we can see which is the stack that NexaVM offers. So we see our product portfolio, NSSV, the secure server virtualization, our enterprise-grade hypervisor, NCSSV, cloud software virtualization for private and hybrid cloud environments, the NSAN distributed storage area network, enabling a reliable and scalable HCI infrastructure, and the NSDS, software-defined storage supporting object, S3, file storage, and stretched cluster. Together, these modules form a unified ecosystem, simple to deploy and easy to manage. Otherwise, it is also scalable from a small cluster to multi-data center environments. On top of this core stack, NexaVM offers a complete product portfolio for different use cases. The NCMP, Cloud Management Platform, the single interface for delivering cloud services, the NMCMP, the Multi-Cloud Management Platform, simplifying the control of workload across private and public clouds, the NDesk, our VDI, and after that, we also have Zaku, the Container and Kubernetes Management Platform for seamless deployment and orchestration of containerized workloads, and the AI module. Together, these products form a modular, integrated, and future-proof ecosystem that empowers partners to deliver virtualization, cloud, and container services, all under one platform. Oh, so sorry. Okay, we summarize the NexaVM strengths in what we call the 4S approach. Simple, so quick installation.
Sorry, we can't see your slides.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I have to share again the slides. Just give me 1 second. I'm sorry. Okay, you should see again my desktop. As I was saying, we summarize NexaVM strengths in what we call the 4S approach. Simple, strong, smart, scalable, and smart. In short, NexaVM is an easy to deploy, easy to use, and ready to grow. How we do this? Our key advantages are those that I show you now. So quick time to market, a basic setup takes less than 30 minutes, upgrades happen in a roll way with zero downtime. Cost effective, we offer a flexible licensing based on customer needs. Easy operation, everything is managed from a single web console, fully API driven and automated end-to-end. Wide compatibility
It's not
works.
appearing again. It's a blank screen now.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know why you.
Might be some
I
internet
can see it
connection
now.
problem.
I can see it
It was a
now.
Probably.
rendering problem. It's because
Okay.
of the line.
You can see now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's visible. Go on.
Thank you. So just to summarize this slide, our solution is fast to deploy, cost efficient, easy to manage, and ready to integrate anywhere. Just to make a little overview of our base products, now we see the NexaVM NSSV, our hypervisor. So the goal is to solve the main difficulties that companions and concurrent with the traditional system, high cost, complex license, and difficult management. Emanuele later will show you in more details. The other solution that we will see today is the NCSSV, moving to the cloud level. With NexaVM and CSSV, we provide a private and hybrid cloud platform that is extremely lightweight and easy to use. Here, the slide shows the architecture of our cloud platform. The NCSSV can simultaneously manage heterogeneous environments such as NexaVM clusters, VMware resources, or even public clouds. Thanks to its open structure, it allows you to unify management and distribute resources on demand, integrated with a third-party system through APIs. The key concept here is unified resources management with NexaVM. Unified resources management. With NexaVM, you can manage any type of resource, computing, storage, or networking from a single console. This is radically simplifies operation and makes service deliver faster and more consistent. After that, we have our software-defined storage. This means that there is no longer a centralized access point that can become a bottleneck. Each node participates in a storage management in a distributed manner, improving performance, reliability, and expandability. SDS support multiple protocols like Fiber Channel, iSCSI, and integrates easily with the existing ecosystem. We also have our backup software. So it's a possibility that we can offer to complete our solution and our proposition. Just a couple of success stories, success cases. Here are some example of a customer around the world who have switched from VMware to NexaVM, achieving a unified management, disaster recovering, and GPU based on workload. So to sum up, NexaVM is not just another virtualization platform. It's a partner-centric ecosystem built on trust, innovation, and European excellence. We are here to help you deliver efficient, reliable, and cost-effective clouds and virtualization services with complete control and independence. Thank you very much for your attention. Now I'll hand it over to Emanuele De Falco, our pre-sales engineer, who will show you NexaVM in action through a live demo. After that, we can have a time to reply to all your questions. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Still admitting people in. Nice. A lot of people today. I'm happy. Still going. Really nice. So first of all, before the introduction, let me say that I am a bit sick today, so I might cough a lot. So forgive me for that, but let's see how it's going. Let me share my screen so we can start. Okay, should be visible, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So let's start small. Let's start from our hypervisor, NSSV. This is we are looking for at a single node deployment, but we can expand it till 1,000 nodes. Yes, that's the power of the technology, because a single management node can manage till 1,000 other nodes. So that's a lot of servers. And this is just to say to you how this technology is like pointing to efficiency, not only on the virtual machines inside of them, but also for the performance and communication between nodes. As I was saying, this is a single node, all right? But we can expand it. We can expand it however we want. You can see the structure here, how it thinks. It thinks like the root node, as we can see. Then we can create data centers. We have basically no limit for it. We can attach clusters on it. And under the cluster, we can simply attach nodes, like here. You see, you can just click the action button, add a new host, insert your IP, your password, and that's it. You're done. That's to show you how easy it is to use this technology. Another kind of example that I always do for using this technology for the first time and showing that is actually really easy to use it. The first time I saw this platform, I was like, okay, I need to create a new virtual machine, right? It's an hypervisor after all. So what should I do? Oh, virtual machine. I have here this action button and we can create one. I have the other action button, new virtual machine. Oh, the second way to create it. Otherwise, I'm a guy who usually right-click on stuff. Oh, another virtual machine. You see? So that's just an example to show you how easy it is to use, even if it was the first time that I actually saw the platform, you see? And speaking about the virtual machine, let's go a little bit deeper. So, of course, we can create a virtual machine with ISO, Cookout2, OVF, OVA. We also support template. So if you want to do bulk deployment, for example, from a template. And speaking about bulk deployment, we can assign our name and select here our quantity. So, for example, I can deploy like instantly the number that I want. As you can see here, like 10 virtual machine in a single click. Speaking about the compatibility, we have, of course, Linux, Windows, or the distribution that you need. You can ask us later the specific list. For every detail, you can contact us if you need a more in-depth demo, like Luca said before. You can just contact us and we can organize it. But let's focus on the creation of the virtual machine. As you can see, it's really easy to do it. You can create customize your virtual hardware here. It also supports the hot plug if the operating system supports it by memory, CPU, so you can increase your resources without stopping your virtual machine. That's the deal, right? Of course, the virtualization of disks, you can put them basically how many you want. The virtualization of the network interface, there's a lot of model. If your physical network interface can go up to 40 gigs, for example, you can then virtualize your virtual machine with, I don't know, 10, 20 gigabits. So no limit for that also. We also have advanced setting. See here, we have the tag. What's about the tag? The tag is not only for search purpose inside the console, okay, but it's also used for scripting because the technology, like Luca said before, it has open API. So you can theoretically you can manage your console without even using the graphical user interface. You see, and the tag can be used for that. Also for Terraform scripting, so you can achieve infrastructure as a code without even using your graphical user interface. You can deploy like 50 virtual machine with networks configuration just like this, really easily. And that's the power of OpenAPI and Terraform scripting. But we can also set up like in advance a password for the virtual machine. Now we are using Linux, so even SSH key. Of course, we have VM tools, and we support for all the operating system that we saw before, the classic boot option, but that's what we expected. This is a really interesting stuff. It's possible to hide the KVM virtualization flag. That means that when the virtual machine is going to be created, is not going to have the tag that is said that is a virtual machine. Is useful in a lot of contexts for licensing purposes or even for malware, because a lot of malware are going to search for that specific tag and act differently. So you can like evade them, for example. Just an example though. Let's move on. So about the console itself, here, single node, we are selecting the cluster, even if the host is a single one. We have everything that we need. Like here, we can see all the resources that are being used. Now we are seeing 4, but we can add a lot of them. It depends about what you need. Okay, all the custom stuff is here. Every single page is basically customizable. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff that now is has been hidden, but you can just show. You can choose whatever you want to monitor, whatever you want to look at. That's on you. While speaking about the technology itself, it's also has included the DRS, so the management of the resources between nodes. Now, obviously, since this is a single node, it's not possible to activate it, but it's already included in the license. And also HA, high availability, is also included in the single license of NSSV. So that's a good thing. And another thing that is included is the network virtualization part here. If you ever use the VMware, it's basically the same. So you're going to create a distributed switch, and under them, you're going to create a distributed port group. And with that, you're going to do microsegmentation, okay? You have your network part. You can choose your data storage. And as Luca said before, we support basically every single protocol. So like Fiber Channel, SCSI, NVMe, over Ethernet, etc. So, we also have our own virtualized storage and SAN and NSDS. And SAN I can show you later because in the cloud platform we are actually using it. And as I said before, we can take over distributed storage, external storage here. Now is scanning to find something, but is not going to find anything because it's a standalone node, this one. Speaking about business reliability, here we have the DRS policy that I remember is included. Now single node, we cannot see it. VM scheduling policy, what about it? You can basically tell where a virtual machine is going to be executed. So if I have like a cluster with 5 nodes, I can set up policies saying and setting the affinity on the exclusive action between those virtual machines. So I can force to run a single virtual machine on the node number 1 and the other virtual machine on node number 2, for example, or maybe together. That's on you. Speaking about data protection, we have included, of course, the snapshot. We can create a snapshot policies. Let me show how easy it is to do it. You can just create here, select the days of the week, the hour, the starting time, and the retain snapshot. That means that this is a threshold. After 5, is going to automatically delete the old one, just for a simplicity of usage. It also supports memory snapshot. That means that everything that inside the RAM, you're not going to lose it, basically. Really helpful stuff. About backup, let me spend 2 words for it. We have an integrated backup, like here. Let me show you how easy it is. I can select my storage. Now we have a local storage, of course, because it's a single node, isolated. We can select our virtual machine, one, this, for example, and then we can create the policy here. It's an incremental backup, or we can customize it. We can choose, for example, at the first of the month and the 9th of the month, you're going to do the backup, and that's it. And this is our integrated in the hypervisor backup. Otherwise, we have our own software backup that is way more powerful, with way more enterprise functionalities. And for that, we are also going to organize a webinar in the future. So stay tuned for that if you need more information and want to look deeper. Let's move on. About operational and maintenance. Here we can see every single event, alarm, etc. Like you see, who executed, what is going on, and all the alarms, and we can handle them. And also, it's possible to create customizable alarm. You see, for example, let me choose my virtual machine, CPU, CPU utilization, and the triggering rule like 50% for the last minutes. So now with my requirement, I'm going to receive an alert saying me that this specific virtual machine has used that much resources. But that's on me. It's highly customizable, as you can see, just to fill up everything you need. And once this is done, I can create a message template. So even that is customizable. You see, you can create here your message title, your message text, and then you can choose where to send it. You see, we support email, WeCom SMS, HTTP application that it's basically webhooking, or SNP trap receiver. So you can also like integrate it with Zabbix, for example, for monitoring, etc. So it really open. That's one of the core point of the technologies, or our technologies, is to be open, to be integrated easily. And that's the power of API. I'm a technical guy. I love APIs, so I might be a little bit of part on that. And we saw basically almost everything on this platform. I'm doing a brief introduction because we do not have a lot of time. If you wanna go deep, we need a specific session. That's why I'm encouraging you to contact us if you're interested, so we can do a deep dive together. But basically, this is our single node hypervisor with network virtualization, but it's also possible to achieve HCI, hyperconvergence. You just need more nodes and our virtualization storage, and that's it. Then you're going to create a cluster with it, and then you have HCI. You can manage it from here, so from a single GUI, user interface like we are seeing now. And it's basically the same stuff. You're going to have the distribution of resources, one single logical volume pool for your data, and that's it. And basically everything is included. And one last thing to mention, the license is socket-based. We do not care about the number of cores, etc. And every single stuff that you saw now is integrated in a single license. So pretty convenient, I should say. So I think I explained briefly everything about NSSV. Now, for the real deal, let's move to the cloud technology. Okay, cloud technology, NCSSV. This is a really powerful technology. Let me show you. We have a lot of stuff to take a look at here. Just look at the menu, what's inside of it. But this is a technology that inside of it, it has the same hypervisor, so the same one that we saw for NSSV, but we have a lot of features, a lot of modules that we are going to take a look at now. So even here, of course, OpenAPI, Terraform scripting, so same stuff that I said before. It's also, you can also apply it to this NCSSV, the cloud technology, and it's used for CSP, cloud service provider. It can be used for hybrid cloud management. It can be used for private cloud. So even if you're not a CSP and you do not want to arrogate services to others, you can just simply use it for yourself. If you have a big environment, you can create your own private cloud. Why not? It's also possible. So do not limit ourselves only to arrogating services. But I mean, it's also possible that you choose for it. Let's take a look of what's inside. First of all, since is a cloud technology, we have the tenant management. So it's totally multi-tenant, okay? You can create your organization, external or internal. You can create your user. You can create your user group. You can assign your roles. So everything is documented. You have your audit. You know who did what, and that's for compliance, etc. Is of course really important. Support a single sign-on. Those are the old server and protocols that are supported, like OAuth2, LDAP, Active Directory, etc. And then the project itself that is actually the tenant. So you can supervise logically and virtually all the resources and creation of every single users, admin, auditors, that's on you. It also has an internal ticket process. So if your customers or your employee, that's on you, needs more resources for another virtual machine, another image, etc., you are free to choose if you want to do it by yourself, if you want to give him the permission to do it, or tell them to ask him via ticket, like this. So if I need something more, I can ask my admin to give me the more that I need. You see, it's of course it's really useful for managing the operation. But now we saw that is multi-tenant and briefly how it works. Let me show how it thinks. As NSSV, the hypervisor that we saw before, is divided by zone. It can be multi-zone, so geographically separated. Also, it thinks with clusters, host, so you can create your cluster and under them insert your host. But like NSSV, I told you, it's basically the same virtualization technology, but here is way more powerful with way more modular. Then we can create or add our primary storage. And even here, it supports basically every single protocol of storage. So local storage, NFS, Chef. One thing that I didn't say before is that our virtualized storage is Chef based, so good technology. We support, of course, NFS, Share and Moon Point, iSCSI, Fiber Channel. We can show them here also, and NVMe storage. So we are really open for integration with external storage, etc. Once we have created our hardwares, so we added our clusters, our host, we can start using it, okay? Let me show you how it thinks, how it works. It thinks up and works about pools, so like template, you see? Let me show you. We need to create an instance offering. Let me show you. We can create, for example, we can call it 4 core and 8 gigabyte. And then we are going to select hot core and 8 gigs, you see? But you can go more in depth with it. You can reserve the memory if you need it. You can set the speed limit of the disk, the IOPS, and the network bandwidth in a way that you can really granularly create your custom software. You see, you can create it like, for example, less for something that, of course, is less expensive, but has less performance. Or you can create like the premium version. So still 4 core and 8 gigs, but you're not going to set any limits. That's just an example I'm thinking while I'm talking, but just to give you some idea. or how it works and how it thinks. You can do the same stuff for images, disk offering. You need to create your template, customizable, of course. Even here, as you see, you can set up everything that you need for your offers. And once you created your offers, your instance offering, your template, you are free to choose the name. You can create the virtual machine itself. You have two ways to do it. The fast creation, you can imagine what's the difference with the standard, but let me show you. You see, you can attach the tags here for API and Terraform. Do not forget about it. And then you need to choose your instance offering that you created before. Like for example, now I'm doing something random just to show. We can create our computational power here. We can choose our image to be used. We can choose our disk offering. We can attach more disk offering, you see, to have more disks easily, and also the network, HA mode, HA policy, etc. And this is the fast creation. In the standard creation, of course, you have way more stuff to select, to import, to execute, and that's it. You can select the image, for example, NSSV. One thing that I didn't say before, and I'm thinking about now, it's also support a nested virtualization. So I just the other week installed an SSV inside NCSSV. So that's another idea for you. You need to choose your disk offering, one random. Let's go. We select our networks. For networks, we have our section later. Just I want to show you something really easy. The clusters, the host that you want to be rendered in. And in system configuration, we also support Cloud Init. So you can choose before creating the virtual machine how the virtual machine is going to be set up, you see, with a configuration file. Here we can see an example. Oops. Maybe, okay. See here? There's just a configuration file, so you can create basically everything that you need inside the virtual machine before creating one. So you do not have to set up manually every single virtual machine. You can just create in bulk how many you want with your settings, with your personalized settings. And this is how we create the virtual machine, the core of the virtualization. So let's move on with another interesting feature is the auto-scaling group. What's about it? So this feature, this policy enable to check the health status of the virtual machine and the workload of that specific virtual machine, and it can automatically increase or decrease the number of copies of that virtual machine, okay? Let me do an example so maybe it's clearer. I have a virtual machine, a web server attached to a load balancer because, as you can see, we also support load balancing. We have the integrated one. If the virtual machine cannot handle that much request, with this policy is going to create another one, a clone, automatically that can support that workload, you see? So it's going to balance the resources, but not only the network resources, even the virtual machine resources. And after that, it can decrease the number, so you're not going to waste the resources. Okay, so for example, I have one virtual machine, it can't handle that much resources, it's going to create another one so they can actually handle it. And after the second one will become useless, is going to be deleted. Okay, so you have your resources back, and all of that can be done automatically. You see the usefulness of this module, and also for the health status, not only for workload and load balancing stuff, but if a virtual machine like have some problems and the policy is set up, it can create another one, clone it, and then eliminate the old one that they are copied, basically. So you are not going to feel the difference. And this is how a create auto-scaling group works. Let's move on. Let's talk about network. So since it's a cloud technology, private cloud, hybrid cloud, CSP, that's on you. Network is a really important part of it. And we have the layer 2 and layer 3 resources. Let's go through quick. We have the classic one. We have the VXLAN that it can support up to 60,000 virtual LAN IDs. So that's really a lot of them. The classic VLAN or the hardware VXLAN. So it can manage external hardwares that manage VXLAN. That's another useful feature. We can create a VXLAN pool for communication, tunneling, etc. between VXLANs. About layer 3, we have the public network, like here in the labs. Flat networks. Flat network is basically a network that is directly attached to the internet. We also support, of course, a virtual private cloud, and this is the foundation of the cloud technology while we are talking about multi-tenancy. Because you see, we have two different subnets that do not exist in the real world, let me say it, and are managed by our virtual router. You see? We can create virtual routers and we can assign them to tenants. A single tenant, we can share it globally. And one thing that I didn't mention before is about the that you can share everything that you want. You see here, not share. I can choose to share it. See, set sharing mode, and I can choose to share it globally. So every single tenant is going to see and can use that resource, or I can share to specific project. I just want to share it to me, for example, okay? And only I'll be able to see it and use it. This is another important part of the multi-tenant functionalities. Speaking about network resources, we have our virtual router, a software-defined network. Those are two virtual machines that can be used to manage the virtual private cloud. And on top of them, there is the resources. So we can assign security group, like the microsegmentation that we saw before, basically. So we can tell a single virtual machine to speak only to that specific virtual machine with that specific protocol on that specific port. That's on you. A lot of freedom on it. And also we can create a virtual IP. Virtual IP can be used for everything. We use it for Zaku, the container management that we are going to see in a while, or you can use it for the web server that I told before. You can assign to it elastic IP. So the system is going to distribute and use the IP automatically, and you do not have to create it every time that you need to change something. We can do, of course, port forwarding. We can do load balancing, as I said before. And all of these network services are on top of the router. So you can set up your firewall. It's a level 4 application firewall. So you can do your filtering and stuff like this. Of course, the IPsec VPN tunnel, open short path first, the NetFlow for port mirroring. If you need to check the traffic of some virtual machine, you can do it with that, with NetFlow and port mirroring, the classic root table and share band. And this is all about the network. So you can see that there's a real, only for the network part, there's like a word in it, you see? About CloudFormation, this is a really nice feature that can able you to easily create templates for infrastructure as a service or a platform as a service. And you can do it graphically. You see, you can drag and drop your virtual machine instance. You can customize it here. You see, the instance offering the image like we saw before. And then you can attach your volume. So you can assign your disk to the virtual machine. Then you can create, I don't know, your virtual private cloud. And you can attach your virtual private cloud to your virtual machine. And that's it. You see where I'm going? And once you did that, you basically have your template that can deploy infrastructure, like a giant infrastructure in seconds, because you already did it before. And now it's ready to use. And you can assign it to a new customer, for example, easily, without going through the menu and compiling every single virtual machine. It's basically a graphic infrastructure as a code. But do not forget that you can also do it typing, you see, as scripting because of open APIs. Another module is the bare metal management. We have the elastic bare metal management and the classic one. So it's really useful if you need the performance of bare metal. So for example, if you, I don't know, you have a specific application that needs to be run on bare metal, you can just use this, and you can actually manage it like it is a virtual machine. So you have a single console to manage it, and you can upload your ISO, you can install your operating system remotely, and you can manage it, you see, with this console. So I don't know, maybe for the Oracle databases, this is a really useful stuff because they're going to charge you for the maximum number of CPU, etc. So you can treat them like a virtual machine. So you can install it in bare metal, and then you can actually do basically whatever you want with this user interface. We can manage vCenter. I'm not talking about migration, not only migration, so physical, virtual, etc. I'm talking about actually an hybrid cloud. So we can create virtual machine instances, we can create a network, we can create a volume and attach the volume to the virtual machines. And of course, we can do the migration as well. So this is an actual management of vCenter from VMware. And speaking about management in the hybrid cloud, we can manage AWS instances, Azure instances, and also Alibaba instances. This is a separate module, but it's the same stuff applied that I said for VMware, also for this external clouds provider. So we can achieve our hybrid cloud, as I said before. Let's move on about container part. Here, we have our containerization technologies that is integrated, as you can see. You can have it as a single virtual machine. You can have it integrated in the cloud environment like we did here. And let me show you briefly how it works. It's going to think like NCSSV, so like in cluster and nodes under the cluster. And those nodes are going to execute your workload. Let me show you how easy it is to create. First of all, we need a repository, okay? We can create my repository. You can create your own, make it public, make it private, assign it to tenants. That's on you. And once you did that, it's also possible to do with YAML repo if you're going to use it. You can just upload the file and it's going to do it by himself. And then you can start your orchestration. You can create an application. Those are basically already inside the container management, or you can create your own. You can create your workload here easily. You just need to set up a couple of things that like the name, select the image, etc., like I did before, and then you can create your workload. See, now it's an Nginx server just for showing purposes. You see, you can set up your virtual IP inside the container and you can manage it. This is the default one. I didn't want to think about it and I tell the technology, you do you. I just wanted to use the web server and the technology did. It's also possible to set up services on top of the works. You can choose and policies for your pods between container. You can create, of course, persistent volume in a way that is going to be persistent the data inside the container, and also a lot of microservices management, like the server topology, the trace tracking, if you wanted to take track of what is going on inside of it. And speaking about take track, when you're going to create your workload, you can set up the probes inside the container. Why that? Because those probes are going to say to you, hey, your web server is up and running. Hey, your web server have some problems. Hey, your web server stopped working. So you can log, you can audit it, and you can, of course, fix it. So this is a brief introduction of the container orchestration. Let's move on about operational and maintenance. Here you can see just a graphical view of what's inside the cloud. You can choose, and it's just to see how is working, what virtual machine is communicating with whom, etc. That's the purpose. About cloud monitoring, of course, is all about monitoring. You can select here if you want to monitor your virtual machine, your VPC router, your host. So the resources, you can select the time, you can do it custom. That's on you. It's really free and easy to use, even this part. Capacity management, it's all about space inside the nodes, inside storage, the primary storage, etc. As you can see, you have all the information that you need to know what is going on, like the snapshot, the number of images. It's just for reparation and maintenance. Also here, you can see the status and the health of the clusters. Now we have two nodes inside this cluster plus one witness. In the alarm, same stuff that I said before also applies here. So you can create your customizable alarms. That's on you if you have some specific requirements. And also here you can set up your endpoints to send to specific endpoints your alarm, your events, your customizable events. You can choose email, SMS, even Microsoft Teams or web hooking. It's basically the same like we saw before. Also, you can create custom message template. And about one-click inspection, this is a health check. So you can choose what to look at, like the license expiration, the host CPU. You can just flag it, unflag it. That's on you. And then you can run it and you're going to see the result. It's a health check of the whole infrastructure. Message logs, you're going to see tasks, alarms, etc. Audit is very important. Also exportable, you can set up a log collection if you have some specific requirement, like a compliant requirement, etc. You need to have this, and you need to know who is the operator. And this is the added value of multi-tenancy and multi-users, because you're not going to see admin everywhere, but you're going to see your name, the name of the other guy that did that and did the other things. And then you can choose to export it or send it to third parties. So this is really important nowadays. Backup management. I'm not going to repeat what I said before because the same stuff apply over here, but here we have one more module that is the CDP, Continuous Data Protection. Let me do a test so I can show you how easy it is to set up. We need to set up the virtual machine, the storage. Now let's do it locally. Next step. And here you can set the RTO, RPO, etc. Your policy. You see, it can go up to 1 second RTO. So pretty quick. Asynchronous backup with 1 second difference. And once you did your configuration here, that's done. The CDP is available and your virtual machine is going to be continuously replicated on other sites. So we have also a CDP integrated in the platform. Also for recovery task, the exact opposite. You're going to choose the task. Now you have nothing because we didn't create it before, but it's exactly the same in reverse. Let's move on. Oh, this is a really nice module. As a technical guy, I love it because you can create your custom scripts or XML hook. Let me show you. So you can create here for Linux or Windows, you can choose the language and you can create your custom scripts. Then after you have insert whatever you want here, you can create a job. You can create a job here and assign the script that we just created in a way that the single script is going to be executed on every single virtual machine on your environment. You choose obviously which one you want to be executed. And the same stuff applied for XML hook, for a configuration file of virtual machine, really similar for the cloud init part that we saw during the creation of virtual machines. Then tag management, not that much to say about it because we already covered it. So it's also usable for searching purposes and scripting, API, Terraform, etc. The migration services, same stuff. So virtual to virtual, basically, like I said before, we have a module for cryptography. So we can set up the key, external key, and let me show you what we can do. We can use it for certificate login, but also for data protection. So we can do cryptography on operation logs, audit logs, key configuration files, API permission, user permission, basically every single stuff that you see in this disk. Like we can encrypt the images, snapshots, the platform inside the password inside the platform or sensitive data in general. So this is another useful module. And let's move on the tenant, the billing management, because we didn't cover it before. It also has an integrated billing system. So you can choose to create your pricing list and assign to execute a pay-per-use, like AWS, like Azure, like everyone can do it. We also have it inside of it, and you can choose your own. You can choose your computational memory, etc., and you can set up your price. Okay, here you can choose, and that's it. And you can do it. You can do it basically for every single stuff, like the volume, the GPU, network, even for the elastic bare metal instances. So you can offer elastic better management as service. That's another idea, another way. About the access control is all about proxying and access of the platform itself. Not that much exciting to look at. But speaking about exciting stuff, since we have like 4 minutes left, I'm going to be really fast on the last part. Is about AI. Like Lucas said before, we have an integrated and it's external module that can be integrated in a single platform like we are seeing now that is about AI. What do I mean with that? You can create AI as a service. You can create your own AI. If you have your private cloud, you have sensitive data that you cannot send through the internet. So you cannot use like DeepSeek, you cannot use ChatGPT, etc. You can create your custom AI inside your data center locally on premises. Of course, you need the GPU, you need the hardware to do it, but it's possible to do it with this module. You can add your custom data set. You see, you can choose between text, images, audio, video, geospatial stuff, time series. That's on you, and you can select the usage. You can do the fine tuning. You can do the evaluation of the model of the service performance. If you need to offer as a service, for example, you can tune it and check it here. As I said before, you can do the fine tuning and you can set up your model. You can even create your custom models. So you do not have to limit it by yourself only for DeepSeek, for example, or this BAAI, etc. You can create your custom model, upload it, and use this technology for AI. That's on you. I mean, is the power of AI is that you can just do basically everything if you have enough resources. That's the purpose of it. And then you have your fine tuning, like your inference services. You can create your template here. Someone has already been created. Then we can check it in a specific session if you're interested in that. And speaking about specific sessions, once again, we went through a lot of stuff. I can see that might be daunting because there's really a lot of module, a lot of possibility and capabilities. But this was just an introduction. So if you're interested in something more specific, if you want to do a deep dive or something, please reach to us. Feel free to reach to us. Do not worry. And I think we are done for now. So I'm going to take a look at the chat because I saw some questions.
Yeah, in the meanwhile, I would like just to add a little conclusion of our solution. Our solution is actually hardware independent. It supports multi-cluster and multi-vendor environments, even with machines that have a different architecture, x86 and ARM. Our licensing also is really simple because it's based on the number of sockets. So you need to purchase a license for each socket to be licensed. This confirms that we said at the beginning. So license management is also simple. Cost forecasting is clear, and customer can choose the hardware configuration that best suit their needs without hidden cost. Um, Now I let just a minute to Emanuele to reply to your questions. And after that, we will show you our email to keep in contact.
I just have to read. I'm sorry, but need to read before answering.
Of course, we will share the recording.
Okay, about security kit and evaluating. For benchmark log comparison, yes, you can reach to us. I do not remember by memory, but you can write to us. We are going to let you know absolutely. About SDS storage mixed with fiber channel, you can create more of them. We can support both of them because even in the cloud, when we saw before, under the hood, there is our NSUN that is chef technology, as I said before. And but you can also use external storage as well while using ours. So that's you. I do not see any that is stopping us to do it. There's even a question for you. There's not technical. Luca,
Oh, sorry. Okay.
switching from VMware. That's on you. I continue reading the others.
All right.
It's the fourth message.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Just
go for it.
sorry. I was recovering the right questions. So yeah, NexaVM is based in Switzerland. The formation of the company is pretty new because we born this year, but our technology is an, really mature technologies because today is we are at the end of the 11th years of development. Please, Manuel.
So, for NSSV hypervisor and the VMs it creates, is the control management software for NSSV primarily offered as software as a service? Model hosted by no. We offer the technology to let you do this. We do not do it by ourselves. So we can give you the technology to become a software as a service provider, for example. But we do not do it by ourselves. I mean, the next
The
question about DR replication, etc. Does it dependency upon instant snapshot or backups? Integrate with underlying storage. I mean, the backup start from the snapshot, like basically every single technologies that I know that do that. But if you want more details, we can let you know better about it because it depends on too many factors, like a lot of variables to answer correctly to it.
About the pricing of CDP and Kubernetes. For the CDP, we have different kind of licensing based on the uh, customer requirements. Yeah, for Kubernetes, we license the for virtual CPU. Um,
For your pre-sales member. Yes, we can let you know, absolutely. I'm talking about the pre-sales members, in which country they are in. Yes, absolutely. Do you support open source CSI? As far as let me check really quickly. Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, Web channels, SCSI, yeah, yes, not a problem. This is a automated message. About the pricing, Luca already talked about it. Didn't see the DR option. Yeah, yeah, I told him during the demo. We didn't have the DR installed. We have another software. I mean, that's like you can see it in a true way because DR at least is not a technology, it's something that you need to do, is a plan. You see, you can do DR with a CDP, for example, but we also have the other software that is specific for DR. But if you need more information about it, we can organize it. Absolutely. But still present, not installed on the platform, is another virtual machine, but present. Meeting recording, okay. Does your system support GPU virtualization? Yes, indeed, absolutely. Virtual GPU, yeah, yeah. It's doable even for NSSV and even the cloud and CSSV. Training system do you have? In which region do you provide training? Yeah, we have local presence in Pakistan, so you can reach to us and we can let you know who to contact. So this is not going to be a problem. Yeah. I lost it. Where is it? About the local client in Pakistan, so
we let you have
I
the
kind
we
yes.
let you have the answer about this question.
Do
We
we have
support.
migration support from? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, agentless, not a problem. NexaVM support Vim. We are going to support it. We are working on it. Absolutely. Now it's not supported, but it's going to be. Oh, yeah. The trial is you can contact us. You can go to our website. There's a subdomain Hive, or you can just click on it. You need to register and you can download it. There's the ISO that it's like it has an already included license for 3 months for the single node. You cannot do HCI with it, so but you can try the single node. There is the installation guide is really easy to do. To just please be sure to read it carefully, and you can follow those steps, and then you're good to go. Do not even need to do the licensing later if you just want to try it. Distributor in Pakistan, I guess so. But for that, please contact us because I do not have those information. I need more for the technical part.
Yes, we have a dedicated team in also in Pakistan, so we let you have all the information about this.
Can you support DevOps? I mean, what do you mean with that? Because DevOps, I see it like a concept, like a family of stuff. If you're talking like about, I don't know, container orchestration, etc., we can organize a deep dive inside of it. the module that I briefly talked before. But yes, you can customize and support, automate everything that you need. Also about for the infrastructure as code, etc. It's doable. Pricing part,
Play
naive
about
code.
the pricing list. We don't have a public pricing list, but please feel free to contact us to understand which are your requirements, and we let you have all the commercial information also about the pricing.
Do you have any reason why a company would like to replace VMware with Nexa? I mean, should I tell it? The price, of course. It's too expensive, VMware. And also the performance are basically the same. So why you shouldn't? I mean,
VMware is an obviously a really good solution, but now is not affordable for the major part of customer and resellers. So we propose an unique and real alternative of VMware, just more lighter, cost affordable, and easy to use. Okay, I think that the question now for now is over, but I repeat again, please feel free to send us a direct email. So for now, thank you so much for joining us in today's webinar. Wish you have a wonderful day, and I'm excited to connect with you soon.